everyone. I want to talk about something that's kind of bothered me for a while now. It's this idea, and I feel like it stems from older generations, but it's this idea that you have to find one thing you're good at and only focus on that, and you're not allowed to do anything else. You can have hobbies, sure, but that can't be like your main focus. And that really annoys me. And how we drifted from like the Renaissance era where, Michelangelo was an artist and painter, but also had some inventions. You had Da Vinci, who was more of a inventor, stuff like that, but also was a great artist as well. To, that being able to do multiple things, being like that was your job. It's what you were known for, is being skilled and talented in multiple things. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with being really, really good at one thing and putting all your energy and time into that. That's awesome. That's what you want to do. But I feel like it's more of a 20th century mindset where you have to be good at one thing, whether that's academia or a labor job. And that is going to be your job for the rest of your life. You can't do anything else. You have to stick with that, even if you hate it. If you're good with it, that's what you have to do. And that annoys the hell out of me. It's like, why can't we get back to this mindset of being good at multiple things? And I was with that mindset for a long time of, well, I'll let my hobbies be my hobbies, but I'll focus on academia and stuff like that. So I spent my whole 20s pretty much in school working towards something history based, and I was just like, I love history, but it's not really getting me anywhere. I love studying it, but I don't want to get my doctorates in it. I don't want to study it for the rest of my life. I mean, outside of just occasional research for myself, just something I want to learn more on. But even within that, you have to be more specific, especially if you want to get like your doctorate in it. I'm very interested in medieval women's history and some ancient history. That gets covered a lot more than other areas, so because a lot of what we have now comes from the Greeks and the Romans and stuff like that. But I'm also really interested of everything and anything that happened, especially in the European theater in World War II, because that's the biggest war we've ever seen. That was a true test of human morality and just seeing how, we came together to fight a true evil, and how the people who were were right in the middle of it in Germany and stuff like that, and what they had to do to survive, because I'm completely going off topic, but a lot of the people who lived in Germany didn't agree with what Hitler was doing, but it was agree or die. And they saw what was happening to their Jewish neighbors and friends, and they're like, I don't want to put my family through that. If I have this choice, I can pretend that I'm going to do that. It was purely survival, and instead of, well, it's not that they agreed with it, it's just they didn't have a choice. And that is really interesting for me to see. But I also like historic preservation, like restoring old houses and buildings and material history. So it's like you see exhibits in museums that have clothing from that period, love that stuff, and taking care of that. I love doing that, and I love museum studies. But this mindset of, well, you have to pick one, really kind of tore at me, because I'm like, well, I don't know what I'm most passionate about. They're like, find a passion, and that's what you're gonna do. I'm like, I like all of them really equally. What do I do with this? And I'm still toying with the idea of going back to school for historic preservation, but I'm probably not gonna do it. But it even translates into stuff like that, because on the outside it's like, well, pick a labor job or go to college. And the labor job, it's like, be a mechanic, be a painter, and you really can't do anything else. Like why can't you be a mechanic and a painter? or, you know, stuff like that. And you get paid for those. Like, those be your jobs and you like them, and maybe have some hobbies on the side too. It's like, we humans are multifaceted. We have different interests and likes and wants and needs. And when you're 22, what you're into, what you're passionate about in that moment can completely change 20, even 5-10 years down the line. And then you're stuck in this job. You're just like, I hate this. I don't want to do this anymore. I've gotten to a plateau state where I can't get a promotion. I have to go back to school to get a promotion, but it has to be in this very specific thing so I can get that promotion, and that promotion is still a maybe. And I think that's where a lot of like the midlife crisis is hit. It's just like you're not happy with your job because you weren't able to fully express yourself, fully flesh out what you wanted to do. You're expected to know from like 18 to 21 exactly what you want to do for the rest of your life. And that's not how people work. We just don't work that way as human beings. We change constantly. Our likes, our wants, our needs change all the time. Even if it's not drastic, they still change. Like in school, I changed my major 3 times. And it's like I know more from like the academic side. It's like you give this 4 years to make up your mind what you want to do. And then you have to stick with that, and you're expected to do all your changing and discovery in those 4 years. I'm just like, you're doing a lot in those 4 years. A lot of work, a lot of stuff, and you're trying to figure all this out for the rest of your life. And then you get out and you have more life experiences, and you're like, that's not actually what I wanted to do at all. And I hate this idea. I keep saying it. I hate the idea that we have to be pinned down to one aspect. Just in my creative work alone, and it's even translated to creative people. It's like, well, you're good with this one medium and you have to stick with that medium, and you're not allowed to branch out. You're not allowed to try different mediums, see if you're better at that or if you like it. And I'm really like bucking against that now, because maybe my videos aren't the best, but I like doing them. They're fun for me. I like doing the tutorial videos. I got some cooking ones coming up. I know like in the whole like YouTube and sphere, it's like the advice you get is pick a niche area and stick with it, but you're gonna get bored of that. That's why like I sometimes have video games on here. I like video games, but I don't know if I want to do it all the time. And I don't always have a tutorial to do because I might be working that one long extended project. And it's also, along with that, it's making me more comfortable talking to the camera, talking to people in general. It's really helping me balance out my introvertness and being able a little bit more ambivert. We've talked about that. I'll link the video so you know exactly what I'm talking about. But also, it's like, a year ago, when I started getting back into cosplay, I was like, what are my skills? I can hand sew and I can iron. I can't really draw. But since then, I can use a sewing machine. I know how to hem now. I didn't know how to hem a year ago. I can use Is it Doyle's style? These things. Come here, you. I know how to work with these now. A little bit, still novice at them, but I know kind of what I'm doing with these. I know how to use a Dremel, a drill, and different mediums, not only fabric, because cosplay is not just fabric, it's props as well. So I can leather work now, more or less. Still, I mean, all this stuff is still rather novice, but compared to where I was at a year ago and I couldn't do any of this. And it's because I was like, I want to know how these work. I want to know how to use them, all these different mediums. Maybe I won't be good with them. But if I keep practicing, who knows? If I use them and I decide I don't like it, I can move on to the next thing and not be trapped in this whole like thing of where you have to use one thing and you can't do anything else, and that's what you have to be good at. And like, I never thought I would style wigs. I always thought I was just gonna buy them. And so, I mean, in the long run, I'm saving myself money being able to do all this stuff for myself. And again, like with the YouTube videos, I edit all my videos. obviously, but I started this in December, and my editing skills have grown immensely better in the last 4 or 5 months I've been doing this, and it'll grow then. And that's not something I ever thought I would get into. Me and technology don't really work well, so I'm just trying to bust out and hopefully like get other people out of this mentality that you can do. Like when we're children, we're told we can do whatever we want, and then when we get older, it's like, oh no, actually you can only do one thing for the rest of your life. I want to buck out of that system. Even like, okay, you have your job, and that's what you're gonna do. You have your 401k, that's your retirement plan. You know, you got this set course for your career. That doesn't mean you can't do stuff on the side that you really enjoy and get pleasure in, and hey, maybe a few bucks out of it. You know, or and I've talked about how like people have their hobbies and that's what they're content with, and that's fine. But and a lot of people have these same mentalities are like, oh well, you can just work, and you don't have any hobbies. Just go to the bar, go to the movies. I'm just like, that's insane to me. We're not a two-dimensional flat figure. We have many interests, and that's good. It's good for us to have all these interests and wanting to learn more and wanting to learn different things, and not just feel like we want to pull our hair out because all we do is go to work, sit at our crap job we don't like, and then come home and watch TV and make dinner and go to bed. I'm just like, that is so boring. And it's just like, okay, you have your 9 to 5 Monday through Friday job. Maybe you like it, maybe you enjoy it, but it's not your passion. And you, on the weekends, you get to look forward to having your passion, and that's a good thing. And people will get mocked for it, and it's ridiculous. Like, why do you hate your life so much that you have to try to bring other people down and shit on them? Go out and find something that you're passionate about, that you love, that you want to express with, and stuff like that. And it's just like, my passion, as much as I like history and stuff like that, that is not what I want to be doing the rest of my life. I don't want to be, because with history, you either get a museum job, which are really hard to come by, or you become a professor or a teacher. I wouldn't mind working in a museum, but like I said, they're hard to come by. Or at least decently paying ones with benefits and stuff like that. I don't want to be a teacher the rest of my life. I don't want to teach for 2 years and take a sabbatical for a year, 6 months to a year, to research something I'm interested in and want to learn more about, but I have to do because I can't keep my doctorate. I'm just like, and I don't want to be a teacher because, like I've talked about, I don't like kids, but I don't want to do that. As much as I love history and learning things about our past, our collective human past, that's not what I want to be doing the rest of my life. The rest of my life, I want to be creating stuff, whether it's stuff for YouTube videos or maybe bigger things that are video based, or like I'm working on a video game right now. Well, the script for the video game right now. I want to do that. If it doesn't work out, I tried it. In this way, I have no regrets. I won't be questioning myself when I'm like 80s, like, did I do everything I wanted to do? Did I experience life to its fullest? And did I explore all my passions and wants and needs to their conclusion? Or did I just say, well, that's not gonna happen, so I'm not even gonna worry about it? And absolutely not. I am gonna try all these things I want to do. Hopefully they work out, but if they don't, that's okay. But, you know, like with the cosplay stuff, I am very well aware that older cosplayers are not nearly as popular as young cosplayers. But I'm not worried about that. I'm still gonna be cosplaying when I'm like 60. And it probably won't be like Black Widow or Ciri or Sydney or anything like that, but I can do the older characters that speak to me more. I mean, I'll probably still do Black Widow, like, let's be honest. And I'll probably look fairly young for a while, but still, I'm still going to make things. I'll make commissions for other people, and I just refuse to be held and like pinned to a board and be like, this is what you have to do for the rest of your life. And if I want to stop cosplaying, that's completely 100% up to me. not anybody else. I don't have a manager dictating or a corporation dictating what I have to do and stuff like that. And I can go to something else. Or like if my editing gets really good, then I don't then maybe, you know, edit for somebody else if it's really good, or you know, stuff like that, edit for TV or movies if I get good enough. And or like my sewing skills, maybe good enough to make costumes for TV and stuff, and you know, cosplay on the side. I'm just giving myself so many options in my creative world where I don't feel trapped and having to stick to one thing for the rest of my life. And like that's one thing I like about being creative, is that despite what people might think and say, where it's like, oh well, you're good with this one medium and you don't need to branch out to any others, I will try everything and learn how to work with different materials and stuff, so I don't feel trapped even in with that, if that makes any sense. Hopefully it does. Hopefully this whole rant makes sense, because I know I just hit the floor running. And yeah, and like I said, maybe nothing will come from the creative side of things, but at least I won't, when I get 80, I won't be looking back on my life and be like, I should have done that. I'll look back and be like, I did that. I tried everything. I tasted every little thing I was interested in. And just, I feel like it's going to lead me to have a fuller, happier life. And then instead of waiting until retirement to start exploring my life. And actually doing the things I want to do. Because once you hit retirement, I want to say the average human lifespan for women is 76 and men it's 75 in America. So if you retire at 65, which I know for millennials we're not going to probably even have that option, but that's only 10 years, and that's not a lot of time in your lifespan of 75 years. And so even if you spend those last 10 years, you know, traveling the world, you're older, your body can't keep up as much. I mean, go for it. Please explore if you're older, instead of just sitting on the couch and not doing anything. And if you can, but you know, you just, a lot of things come with old age, good and bad, and you just don't have as much time as you do now. Even if you can only do it on the weekends or after work, and I know a lot of people have families and stuff like that, and that takes all of your time. You can just get 30 minutes or an hour today to explore something you're interested in, even if it's just a Google search, and be like, I should try this, or you know, get something on sale on Amazon on Prime Day or something like that. Just explore everything you want. You know, don't let other people's mentalities and this older generation thought of you can only do one thing and be good at one thing keep you from exploring what else you might be good at. Maybe you're even better at something and you didn't have any idea, and you know, try that out. I mean, yeah, pay your bills, take care of all of that. Don't just quit your job and start following your passion unless you have a safety net where you can do that. You're not gonna like be homeless and, you know, starving. Like, think of it smartly, but you know, still be true to yourself, be true to your passions. Find out what your passions are and your wants and your needs, and explore them, and then move on to the next one, instead of just feeling stagnant and held and trapped into this life that you may not have really wanted or you thought was good at first, and now it's kind of it's petered out, can't really go anywhere. And I'm saying that more from like my perspective, because I got into management jobs and there was no moving up for me. It was just lateral positions, which can be useful. I mean, that can help you get to more positions, but I was just like, this is not what I want to do. I'm not happy. I'm losing my mind. I want to pull my hair out. I want to cry before going into work every day. And then I started my cosplay stuff. I started the YouTube stuff, and I'm so much happier than I was even 6 months ago. So yeah, all of this long rant to say, just be true to yourself. Fuck what the old people say. I mean old generations, not elderly. You know what I mean. But do what makes you happy. If working, you found your passion, you found your job that you love, and you know you're getting everything you want out of it and need out of it, that is fantastic. But if you're not, don't feel beholden to keep doing that. So hopefully all this made sense. I'd love to know what your passions are, what are some things you want to learn and look into, any tips and tricks for getting out of the funk you might be in. I'd love to know. So yeah, and others might too. Maybe help them. And I will see you guys later, and I love you. Bye.